Hello and welcome to today's presentation. I'm really excited for the opportunity to present to you what we find in the mortgage business to increase sales, increase your calls, increase your leads, and really ultimately increase your profits. The topic for today will be, what you should do in order to get your internet marketing right. What should you do to the website? What should you do to increase your authority of the website so Google ranks you higher in the search results, which ultimately leads to more traffic coming to your website. So I really want to start today by looking at a few questions. So have you ever wondered what it would be like to have a dominant web presence that positioned you as the top mortgage business in your area? Have you ever wondered what it would be like to have a flood of new prospects calling into your business on a consistent basis that found you online? And have you ever wondered what it would be like if to know that you had the right online marketing strategy to fully maximize your lead flow online? Well, I want to encourage you, you're about to discover a blueprint covering the most important online marketing mediums that you should be tapping into for your mortgage business. We're going to, discover how to get your mortgage business ranked on page one of Google for the most important mortgage related keywords in your service area. And, we're also going to discover a proven strategy for getting your company to rank on the Google map by establishing your name, address, and phone number, citation development, and reviews. We're going to cover a step-by-step strategy for getting more repeat and referral business, and using social media, and really how you can double your call volume via the web. So, who am I, and why should you listen to me? Well, I'm the author of the complete guide to internet marketing for mortgage brokers. I'm widely accepted as the premier expert in marketing, online marketing for mortgage brokers. And I think the most important part of it, I've had the opportunity to work with mortgage companies and to bring them in more leads, more profits into their business. So what I want to share with you today is based on real life, real world results, right? We work in the online marketing space with mortgage brokers across the nation, and these are a couple of our clients right now that you see one. Here's another guy in another city, ranking pretty well, and what they're seeing, people are calling into their business that found them online, and they're closing loans with these people. So it's really changing their business, significantly. So these strategies that I'm going to share with you are what's working right now. It's what's working for our clients now, and you can take these strategies and use them in your own business. You can also, think about using us to implement these strategies that I'm going to share with you. But really, the point of today is to just go over what's working, what you should be doing, and it's not based off of theory. This is real results that's working right now that we use in our business to get these results. It's not based off of some website that I read and sharing these with you. This is what's really working. So I'm going to jump right into it. Why the internet though? So what is the big deal? I mean, I'm sure if you're on this webinar, if you're on this presentation, you don't need me to tell you that that you should be thinking about the internet. There's been that obviously this people, the yellow pages, who I don't even know if those still exist anymore, but there's been a massive transition. Most people used to open up the yellow pages, now they're going to Google. Statistics tell us that 97% of consumers, they go online when they're looking for local services. And there's over 20 million searches every single month for mortgage related services. So huge opportunity on the internet. I mean, which with all these online marketing channels, which ones should you focus on, right? You got search engines, SEO, with Google, Yahoo, and Bing. Social media channels like Facebook, Twitter, YouTube, LinkedIn. There's online directories like Superpages and City Search and Angie's List and Yelp. And then there's pay-per-click with the search engines like Google, Yahoo, and Bing. So we're going to talk about which ones you should focus on, and kind of which ones you should lead with. So that's where this comes into play here. For us, it really all starts there at the base. That's your foundation, right? Is your foundation strong? It's that the foundation, we believe, is your website, and your SEO for that website, right? The showing up on the first page of Google, for the keywords in your area. And then what that foundation there, that's gonna give you the biggest return. That's going to have the greatest impact on your business. A lot of times we see companies coming into us. They've tried pay-per-click, they've tried paid directories like Yelp. They've tried some social media, but they never really were happy with the results. Nothing was consistent, and that strategy, we feel, is backwards, right? You really start. We believe you start with the foundation, and that's because that's going to give you the biggest. That's going to have the greatest impact, and then you can start layering these other channels on top of each other, right? Like social media. You can start looking at paid directories like Yelp and pay-per-click with Google AdWords. So that's the question: is your foundation strong? And so we're going to talk about what you should be doing in 2017 to get your internet marketing right. So you got to update your website for SEO and conversion. We're going to talk a little bit about that. We're going to also talk about having a mobile version of your of the website. We're going to talk about getting active in SEO and link building, content creation. We're going to talk about optimizing your site for the Google Maps. At Google Business, at google.com/business. That's also included in that Google Maps optimization is citation development. What citations should you be focusing on? Which ones should you be on? We're gonna talk about having some sort of review request system in place. Then getting active in social media. Why you should be active in social media. You might be wondering why. How is my mortgage business gonna do well in social media? And we're gonna share with you our strategies for that. You gotta leverage email marketing. Consider paid marketing channels like AdWords and Yelp, and then we're gonna look at tracking and measuring all those results. So the 8 steps to success online is step 1. Understand the search engines, right? We're going to look at the paid section of the search engine results page, the organic, and the map listings. Step 2 is going to be building out your website. Step 3, we're going to look at optimizing that website and the pages of that website for search. Step 4, we're going to look at optimizing the Google Maps listing and getting online reviews. Step 5 is going to be building links and authority for that website. Step 6, we're going to explore getting active in social media and what that means for the repeat and referral business. Step 7, exploring paid marketing channels. And step 8, we're going to track, measure, and quantify. So, understanding the search engine, step 1. So what we see in front of us is 3 different images, right? And it's an image of a search engine results page. And what you see there's really 3 sections. You got the pay-per-click, the maps, and the organic. Now the pay-per-click section, that's where you can pay Google to get placed in. You can set up a campaign, tell Google which keywords you want to show up for, and you would set a bid, right? You would tell Google, like, I want to pay $5 for that click. essentially, if someone clicked you, you would get charged, right? Now, it is a little more complex than just saying $5 and this is the keyword I want to show up for, and so we'll talk about the best strategies to use for getting put high up in the pay-per-click section without paying an arm and a leg. And then right under that, this is the map section. This is, there's no amount of money you can pay Google to get put into this section. It's really driven by the quality of your website and the authority, how you appear in Google's eyes, right? Like you couldn't call up Google and tell them, you want to pay them, $10,000 to get put in that section. It doesn't work like that. They have to view you as the authority in your space, in your area. And same with underneath that area, that section is the organic. Very similar to the maps. The maps require having a Google Maps listing, and the organic just requires having a quality website with links coming to that website. So we'll move on here. This is an image of a heat map, right? This heat map kind of follows eye movements, right? It follows the visitor's eyes, and if you look, most of the concentration there is in that one little section, that really red section on the map, right? Not a lot of time is spent on the search on the ad section, or so it's really on the organic. A lot of people, they going back to this image, if you look at the pay-per-click section, a lot of people know that those are ads, right? They know, they kind of tune them out, and they don't like being advertised to. So they skip right over it and they go to the organic section. That's where we place our clients, and that's what I'm going to be teaching you, how to use the right strategies to get placed in that section. So now that we understand the search engines, we're going to talk about building out your website. Really a typical mortgage website that I see out there nowadays has like 5 core pages, outside of the home and the contact page. There's not a whole lot of unique value in any of them. They don't have pages for each one of the loan programs that is offered. They don't have pages for each city and keyword that they want to show up for. If I pull up this short list here of some keywords that people are going to Google and typing in every single month, mortgage broker your city, VA loans your city, home loans your city. So for instance, it would be first time home buyer Los Angeles, or first time home buyer Miami. This is a rather long list, but if you see all these keywords and you think, now only 1 or 2 of these keyword combinations can be used on each page of your website, you could really start to get an idea of how many pages you'll need on your website. So looking at that list, there's I forget how many, I think there's 30 something keywords there. So if you think about it, you're going to need a few pages on the website. If you want to show up, if you want to have a placeholder in Google when someone types in these keywords, you want to have a page on your website optimized for these keywords. So again, a typical mortgage website may look something like this, home, about, home purchase, refinance, blog, contact. But really we feel an SEO built out mortgage website will look like this, right? There'll be the home, about, contact, and a blog. We'll also add, the loan programs page, a home purchase and a refinancing page, and also a city page, right? And then what we do underneath the loan programs, there'll be a drop down. and under that drop down, you'll have a page for each one of these keywords, or each one of these loan programs that you offer, right? So adjustable rate mortgages, jumbo loans, conventional, HARP, FHA, VA, and that page would be focused on that loan program and optimized for search around that loan program. And then, under the city page, what we do is this is where we talk about the keywords, right? The mortgage broker. So your city mortgage broker, your city home loans, or your city mortgage refinance. Having a page for each one of those, where necessary, is really going to maximize your probability of showing up in the search when someone types in your city mortgage broker. So there's a little visual representation of that. You see right under, you see the navigation, and then right under the city, you see a drop down with a number of pages. So the navigation will look a little something like this. Home, about, loan programs, with the submenu, with the drop down, with the loan programs that you offer, so on. So there's the core navigation pages is what you'd see, home, about, loan programs, loan purpose, with a drop down, the city, testimonials, blog, contact us. And now that's great. You build out the website. You really got to start to think about how you're going to get someone to take the action you want them to take when they come to your website. And we call that a conversion, right? When someone comes to the website and converts, or takes the action you want them to take, whether it's filling out a web form or calling you, that's a completed conversion, right? And so the elements of conversion that you'll need on your website in order to maximize this that opportunity to create a conversion, you want to have a phone number in the top right-hand corner. You also want to have a web form on every page where someone can request some more information. A lot of times people may be browsing your website and they're not in a position where they can make a phone call. They might be at work or something. But yeah, so you want to give that to them. You don't want them to have to dig around your website to find the web form. You want to give it to them on it, no matter what page they land on. There should be links to your social media profiles like Facebook, Twitter, LinkedIn. We find that anytime you can give them, the opportunity to learn more about your business, it really solidifies or provides a lot of valid info, like you're a real company with these social media profiles, right? This next one, direct linking to the testimonials. So you don't want to just have a testimonial on the website and it just says blah 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 blah, from written by this person. It's like you want to have that link, or you want to have that review linking back to the source that it came from. So whether it's Yelp or Google, I think a lot of people realize that anyone can go into a web page and write, whatever they would like to say. It starts to raise questions like, did this company actually get that review, or did they kind of fabricate it? It's if it directly links to the Yelp, it really adds a lot of validity to it. A company name, address, and phone number should be on every page. There should be real photos, real videos of your team, yourself, your office. This really will separate you from your competition. I guarantee most of the companies in your space have stock photos on their website, or they might not have any photos on the website. We feel that these real photos will really separate you. People do business with individuals they know, like, and trust. So anytime you can give them an opportunity to learn more about you and to get to know you, is gonna really set you apart. And there should also be a clear explanation of why someone should do business with you. Why should they call you, right? And there, of course, should be a mobile version of the website for mobile visitors. So there you go. There's the phone number in the top right-hand corner. That would be on every single page. A little web form. You see the social media profiles, direct links to the online reviews, company name, address, and phone number. Photos and videos, real videos. Why choose us, right? So, and then the mobile versions of the sites, right? You're not forcing someone to scroll or to zoom in, pinching the screen. Someone can navigate these pages with one hand, right? So, the pages on the site should also, have a purpose. They should be addressing the person's concerns, engage with them. They should have a clear call to action after each block of text, right? You can't count on them to know what to do, right? If you want them to call you, you got to tell them like, hey, pick up the phone, give us a call. We'd be glad to discuss your unique situation, right? You want to pull anytime you pull them deeper into your site with additional content, right? You got to think about the people that are coming to your website. People are going to be coming to your website that are ready to go, so you got to have an apply now page, right? People are going to be coming to your website that are learning, right? So you want to provide info about refinancing or first-time home buyers. You also got to think about the people that are coming looking for rate quotes, or they're shopping, right? So you want to provide info for that, right? Mortgage calculators or things like that. So tell them why they should choose you. Don't forget that. And having a web form on each page is critical. So again, that's restating all the core elements of conversion. Phone number, top right corner, clear call to action after each block of text, web form on every page, pull them deeper into the site with additional content. You want to tell them why they should choose you, add personality, leverage reviews, testimonials, and be mobile ready. All right, so we're on step 3, so optimizing the pages on this site now for search. So how do we do that? What is that? I listed a few things here that are core, and having a unique title tag on each page, right? So a title tag is right there, right? That is what, when you're on the home page, the title tag is what you see in that top area, right? If you are going to do one thing to your website today to increase the probability of showing up in search, this is what you will do. You optimize this for the keyword and the city that you want to show up for, right? So if it's San Jose mortgage lender, it might look something like this, right? San Jose, California, mortgage lender, home loans, then the business name. You want to have an H1 tag restating that title tag on each page, right? So that's another optimized title tag there. But the H1 tag now, that H1 tag should restate the title tag. The images on the site should have meaningful file names, right? They shouldn't just be saved to your computer named a bunch of numbers, .jpg. That's not really telling Google what that image is about. The Google robot can't read, doesn't know what's on, it can't see pictures. So you gotta help it understand what that image is about. So before you upload them to your site, you save them with a meaningful file name, right? So if the page that it was going on was talking about FHA loans, you upload an image to that page, you want that image should be named like FHA loans in your city, right? Something like that. The URL on each page should contain the keyword of that page is optimized for. And you should be submitting a sitemap to Google Webmaster Tools and Bing Webmaster Tools. So there's another SEO optimized title tag. We talked about the H1 tag, restating the title tag. And you'll see that's what you see in search, right? The title tag is that dark blue line, or that dark blue section with text, right? But the ones that we're highlighting there, obviously there are clients and we've clicked on those websites before, but that's why. But those are the title tags. All right, so we're on step 4 now, talking about optimizing for Google Maps. So how do you get your company listed there, right? Number 1, how do you get your mortgage business to rank, right there? There's really three pieces of information, or that you need to focus on. 3 things, right? That is the citations, the directories that you're on. You gotta think about having a claimed and optimized Google My Business listing, and you should be focusing on reviews, real reviews from your real customers in your real area, right? So those 3 things. Doing them correctly will get you, much higher probability to rank in that Google Maps section, right? So if you're on this presentation, I'm assuming you already have a Google Places or Google My Business listing. If you didn't, what you would do, you would go to google.com/business and find your business or add your business. If your business is already in there, I'm sure you've already had it claimed. Someone might have claimed it for you in the past. What I'm going to encourage you to do is find out how to get into that listing, how to make updates to it, check certain things, make sure that it's optimized correctly. So yeah, that's how you're going to get ranked in the Google Maps, right? You have to have a claimed and optimized Google Maps listing. And so by optimized, there's a number of things you can do in that section, right? You really want to make sure the business name is correct, right? You don't want to. It's not a good thing to, for instance, put your company name in there and then, think like, oh, okay, maybe I put, a keyword after that. That's not a good practice to use. It's only supposed to be your business name and exactly how it's spelled, right? You also have a category to choose. So there's a couple. There's mortgage lender, mortgage broker. You got to choose one of them, right? Or you can choose both of them. But those are going to be the 2 that would make sense for you, obviously. You also have the opportunity to add a little description about your business. You also have the opportunity to add how many, or like what days of the week you're open, from what times. And you add your phone number, your website, and some images. And these images, they should be saved and uploaded to the Google Places listing with meaningful file names, right? So don't just upload images that are named like a bunch of numbers .jpg. That just don't do that. And what else to do in there? So that's really, there is an opportunity to upload, I believe, 10 photos, and I'm gonna encourage you to upload all 10. Just go outside, take a picture of your office building, take a picture of the parking lot. You take a picture of some of the team members in your office, working, like, sitting at their desk or whatever. Take some photos of yourself, and and just maybe the office in general, and add those into the Google Places listing. And then what the next thing here is being listed in all these major directories. And have a citation is, like it says, is a web reference of your name, address, and phone number, right? So Facebook, Twitter, they all have your name, address, and phone number, right? You put um, you look at Kudzu and Super Pages, Angie's List, Magic Yellow, all these areas around the web will have your name, address, and phone number. And it's really important that your name, address, and phone number are consistent across all these directories, right? If there's little inconsistencies, Google doesn't look at you as the authority that you deserve, right? It doesn't give you the authority that you deserve. So it's really important to be listed in these areas, and it's really important to be listed consistently in all these areas. And you can find out which directories you should be on, or that which directories your business is on, and you can find out quick. There's tools out there that you can enter your name, address, or your name, address, and phone number. You put your website in there, and it'll run a search, and find you on these directories. And it'll also tell you if things need to be corrected. So moving on here, this is one of our clients, left us a great review. He told us, he mentioned that he wasn't doing any business online. None of his business was coming from online. Now, this was beginning of last year. He said more than 25% of the business now is coming from Yelp and Google. We started working with Sean in 2013, and Sean had a website that was built by a company that specializes in mortgages, right? And working with mortgages. And their website had, his website wasn't ranking in the search results. No one was finding it. It was buried on, the best we saw him was on, I think, page 3. And so we had to get in there, provided a new website, and and then perform these SEO services to get the website ranking on page 1. And now he's getting a ton more business, right? It took there was a lot involved. Sean didn't have any reviews around the web on Yelp or Google, so we had to help him there. And so we put a strategy in place to help him increase that. And he worked it and is reaping the benefits now. So there you go. There's that keyword. He's ranking. I think there's 13 spots on the first page of Google, right? 3 maps and 10 organics, and he's in the organic twice, and number 1 in maps. And also optimize. You got to capture these reviews from your real clients in your real service area. And you do that, that it's a real big factor in determining your placement on the Google map. A couple things we like to do, initiate an email that goes out to your past clients. Ask them to write a review for you. And just provide them the link right to the place you want them to review you on. Right? You should always keep an eye and ear open for happy customers. And you got to ask them to write your review. Write you a review. You can send them after you're done working with them. You can send them an email. It's got to be proactive, and you got to work it. So step 5, we're going to talk about building inbound links and authority. So once the website and the Google optimization is all done, it's really links to the page that determine placement, right? Doing the website, optimizing the website is really only not even half the battle, right? 30% of the battle. The other major part of the battle is getting links, right? Other websites having a link to you, essentially voting for you, right? That's why I said there, he who has the most quality links wins. So that's kind of what it looks like, other websites pointing to your website, right? Having a link there. And what we like to do is what we call, a competitive link acquisition. Essentially, what you would do, you would perform a search. Go to Google, find out who's ranking, who's the big dog ranking in your area, right? Type in the city and the keyword that you want to show up for, and look at the top 5 guys. There's tools out there like Majestic SEO and Ahrefs that you can look at. You can find the people on the top, take their website, put it into these tools, and it'll run a search, and it'll come back with all the links that website has, and you can look at those links and put a strategy in place, to get those links or similar links. And because obviously Google is favoring those guys at the top for a reason, right? So you don't have to reinvent the wheel. You really should, model what's working. And this could also help you to identify any potential issues in your linking, right? It used to be that, I'm going to go back to this one. It used to be that your website, it didn't matter what links were coming at it. So you could have a link, from 1,000 links from these Chinese websites, literally in other languages, and those links would would essentially count as like a vote for your website. But Google has gotten much smarter at the way they assess links, and nowadays I like to say, if a link is easily gotten, it's not worth it. It's not worth your time. It could potentially harm you. So if there's that's why these tools can really potentially identify any issues in your linking. Step 5 here, we're going to talk about creating fresh content. Really, what does it mean to create fresh content? So each website should have a blog, right? You have a blog, that's like your news story, right? And these are great opportunities. Get in there, write an article about one of the most important times to refinance, or when is think of all the questions that you answer on a daily basis to your clients that are calling in and that you're working with, and come up with a few hundred words, put it on paper, and publish it. That right there is going to, you are the expert. You are the subject matter expert. So it's really important, to give people a reason to come back to your site. You're showing Google that you're trying to provide value, that you're trying to educate. They like that. People like that, and Google knows that people like that, so they will reward you for that. And then step 6, we're gonna talk about getting active on social media. So if I today asked you, where do you think the number one source of new business comes in from you? If you think about it, you'll probably realize that the number one source of new business for you is your repeat and referral customers, right? Your repeat and referral business. So those customers that you just helped, and their friends and family, are all on social media. And there's 1.5 billion people on these social media channels. So so where do you start? Where does your company fit in? So go to Facebook, create your Facebook business page if you haven't already. Create a Twitter account, create a LinkedIn profile for your business. Google Plus page, obviously. Once you have that, then the next thing you do, you leverage, you shoot out an email to your database and ask them to connect with you on Facebook, right? And then it doesn't really stop there. They come, they like your page, and now what you just did is that customer of yours has, I think, on average about 130 friends, and so they just liked your page. Now they just broadcasted to their friends that, hey, the they basically vouched for you, right? And so now what you can do, you can stay in front of that person by consistently providing daily updates, right? You provide information about mortgages, about mortgage rates, cool articles that you find. You consistently post, informational type subjects, right? Updates. And then, it's not sales. You're not providing, you're not, trying to get people in there, selling them right then. Right? That's not the purpose of these posts. You just want to provide, a daily update about some mortgage related information. To step number 7 here, we're moving right along, is really exploring the paid online marketing opportunities, like with Google AdWords, with Yelp.com, and really what we see a lot, why we see most pay-per-click campaigns fail, is a number of things, right? They're usually set up with one ad group for all the services, so one ad group, and it's talking about FHA and VA and refinancing and home loans, and then there's not really specific text ads and landing pages for these groups of keywords. A lot of times they just send the link to the home page. And these ads don't have no offer, no call to action, on those landing pages. So really, I want to first kind of get you to understand how AdWords works, right? So AdWords, there's a bidding process, right? But the highest bid doesn't necessarily get you the top placement, right? Google's only job is to serve the most relevant result, and they're not gonna provide someone a result that's not the best result for a few more dollars. They're not willing to do that, right? That's not what that would do. That would provide a bad experience for the person visiting that website and clicking on their ads. That's where Google makes their money. They make their money on their AdWords. And if they're not providing good results in these AdWords campaign, and these people clicking on these ads, people aren't going to go back to Google. So it's really important for them to serve the most relevant results, right? And it's really the quality score that drives your positioning and the amount you pay per click. So there's 3 things to determine the quality score, right? That's the click-through rate, the relevance, and the quality of the landing page. So here's a little breakdown of what we have here. We have 2 advertisers. One is willing to pay $2 for that click, and one is willing to pay $4. But Mary is positioned at number 1. She's in the first ad position because she has the best quality score, right? She has a 10 out of 10 quality score, and she is actually paying much less than Tom is willing to pay. So it doesn't matter how Tom can raise his max bid to $40. That's not going to get him into the top position. Never, right? So you can see there at that pie chart, click-through rate is really taking up a big part of that pie, big chunk of that pie. And a lot of things will affect your click-through rate. And the higher click-through rate, obviously the better your quality score. So so the relevance of the keyword and the relevance of the text ad is really going to help your click-through rate, getting the best opportunity for you to get a click. And then so keyword, ad, URL, all that factors into the relevance plus the user experience equals the quality score. So again, why most pay-per-click campaigns fail, and how to set up these campaigns for success. You you set up ad groups, that are based on specific, service areas of yours, right? Um, you write compelling text ads that are relevant to the keywords that are, in that ad group. And you link those ads to specific landing pages. You don't send them to the homepage with a strong offer and call to action. So here's a few examples of ad groups that I would create. FHA, VA, mortgage broker, mortgage company, first-time home buyer, home purchase, refinance, things like that. Mortgage rates. So in each ad group, there's also groups of keywords. There's a text ad and a specific landing page. So this is kind of like a template of how you can work on your campaigns. But essentially, you choose a set of keywords. So the ad group, you choose a set of keywords, create a text ad, and a landing page, right? The URL of that landing page related to the keywords, and the content of that landing page, is related to those keywords, right? So this is kind of what I did quickly. Keywords, text ad, landing pages, all match, right? All right, so now we're here on step 8 where we track, measure, and quantify. It's really all about ROI. You really have to know, what's bringing in the calls, what's bringing in the new business, and so you set up your website in analytics. You watch the web traffic. You watch the traffic trends in analytics. You want to track the most important keywords that your company is showing up for, and you want to track to make sure that you're moving up the ladder. You can consider phone tracking, call tracking, a phone tracking number on your site. You should have some sort of CRM in place to keep track of the leads and the sources that you're getting. So again, this is our client here. He said, that, does it effectively drive our marketing efforts and provide a good return on our investment? He confidently answers yes. All right. So again, to recap, we went over understanding the search engines. We went over building out the website, optimizing that site, and the pages of that site for search. We talked about optimizing the Google Maps listing and getting online reviews. We also talked about building links and authority. We also talked about getting active in social media to increase that repeat and referral business. We explored some paid marketing channels, and we talked about tracking and quantifying and measuring all these results. So what do you do now? What is the next step? So we really see, obviously this is what we do as a company. Every single day we work with mortgage companies all across the nation. And, we really feel that you have 3 options, right? You can sit there and do nothing, right? You can take all this information and don't do anything with it. You can learn to do this, to do all this on your own. You can go to our website, download our guide, learn how to do it on your own. Or you can hire an expert to do this for you and really take 2017, turn it around into and really change your business. So how would you like for us to do this for you? What would that look like? So the first step is really the first step in the process is letting us know you're interested. We will develop a keyword list for you. We'll look at your current online rankings. We'll look at the conversion elements of your website. We'll look at the links, the citations, and the reviews of your website, and then we can recommend a course of action, right? But we only work with one mortgage broker in each city. So if you call up and we already have someone in your city, we're not going to be able to work with you. we're going to tell you, hey man, go download our guide. I'm sorry, because we only work with one. We feel that it would be unfair for us to work with, more than one mortgage broker in a city. If we are so if you hire us, we are your hired gun. We are your sword. We're going to battle for you, and we will not stop until there's success. Um, so again, this is how the process works. The first step, developing your keyword list. We'll determine your rankings. We'll review your conversion elements. We'll assess the links, citations, and reviews. We will review all that information with you, and recommend a course of action. I can only do about 5 of these strategy sessions per week, so I encourage you to go to my website right now, mortgagebrokermarketing.com/apply-now. Again, that's mortgagebrokermarketing.com/apply-now, and fill out the form, and we'll be in touch. We're very happy to provide this information for you, whether no obligation, whether you want to take this information and run with it, or if you want to consider using us, be happy to do that for you. So I hope this was helpful. If you have any more questions, just hit us up in the comments section below, and I look forward to hearing from you. Have a good day.